cat having a heart attack and having less of a bone structure. This is where you'd find out that the cat actually has bad joints or has kind of a more brittle bone mass on that same sense. So that's what I have for cat foods for your cat. The other thing I was going to brush up on are like cat toys. Because if you do have a cat and you're listening to this show, you'll know that the cat is very playful and it wants to claw things, to chew things. Just like any other animal that you'll have, it has that need for attention and that need to have a mild destructive purpose. And so therefore you need stuff like cat toys or cat scratchers. Now these cat toys allow the cat's brain to function, to kind of be playful and active. So things like, cat wands that have little tassels at the end, or even the little tiny balls that will have like catnip in it, or like a little ringing thing. Cats love batting at these things and going for it. You always see that pop culture reference of like cats playing with yarn. It's the same similar thing. They're trying to get their brain active and interested in playing with something. It's that hunting instinct, and therefore that's what you need, is that little active bit going on for them. With that, there's also scratchers for the cat. And cat loves to scratch. It's just how they sharpen their claws in a sense, or more so dull their claws for you, and helps them keep them at a certain point so that they're not overgrowing. And there's different types of scratchers. There's like scratcher trees. There's ones that have like, to me it looks like cardboard in it. And give or take, some are expensive, some are cheap, and that's what you'd probably be looking for, is what's the necessity need for that. Personally, I prefer the idea of having a cat tree, because you can also use it as a way to entertain the cat as well. The cat will have like little corners to hide in. They usually put like little tassel things on there so that they have something that's more playful to bat at, and to get their mind active on things like that. The other thing that I was wanting to talk about is catnip. Now, catnip is kind of a sedative thing. It's related to the mint family. And so this catnip, what it does is it calms down the cat. And there's different types of catnip out there. There's ones that actually will excite the cat for a minute and have them play around with the item, play around with the toys and that, and then go down in more of a calming state and more relaxing state. There's other ones that tend to help the cat stay in a situation or stay in a spot. So say you decide to move and you're moving with your cat. That cat might have a tendency to want to go back to where it's used to, just because it's kind of a safe haven, a home for them. And so therefore, using catnip as a way to have them stay in that spot is a great thing. They love the smell. They'll go to that smell, rub their face on it, stuff like that. There's also stuff that's a calming, and that's what specifically is a calming catnip. And what that does is it actually calms the cat into more of a lulling state. They'll start purring. They'll want to be around that little spot. And this is good, especially if you're transitioning from place to place, to have the calming catnip in their cat bed, because that's where they want to sleep, that's where they want to relax, and their safe space, if you want to say it that way, so that they're more calm and more wanting to stay in that area. Which makes me go to the next spot, cat beds. Cats enjoy they're lounging and they're sleeping. Cats tend to like to lay wherever they want to lay and find a soft spot that way. But the purpose of the cat bed is actually having more of a therapeutic and a more of softer spot for them to lay down and actually sleep or nap. Whenever I look for, or I ask people, help people, I should say, look for cat beds, I usually direct them to looking for ones that have a cover, because cats are they like their hunting types of situations and love to be enclosed by things. And so when they're in a cat bed, having an enclosure around the cat bed gives them a feeling of safe and security as they're sleeping, which allows them to have a more restful sleep and a restful nap and stuff like that. And especially if you have a multiple pet family with dogs and cats, getting that style of like a pet bed will actually be better for a cat, because that is more of his lair, his safe area to go to, where it feels warm and safe. That'd be the best way I can think of. Another thing I want to get onto is litter and litter boxes. Now, litter boxes come from here and there, of different sizes, different types, and it's depending on how you're wanting to take care of your cat. With litter boxes, when cats use the bathroom, they like to use the bathroom, and then bury the spot. And that's the purpose of that litter box, is for them to have that stimulation to dig the hole, use the bathroom, bury the hole, and just be on their way. That being said, the types of kitty litter boxes, I've seen things that are just very simple, pretty much a plastic box. They pour kitty litter in it, and you do have to clean that litter every so often. Preferably, cleaning the litter box should be a daily task, but it can be postponed to every week. Then, with litter boxes, cleaning the litter box itself should be between 3 weeks to 3 months. The reason why it gives that huge area is because litter boxes also come with a self-cleaning, or some litter boxes come with a self-cleaning litter box, which takes care of the mess that the cat's made, whether they went poop or pee, whatever. It cleans that every so often. And so therefore it gives that leeway of you not remembering to clean the whole litter box. And the purpose to clean that litter box is obviously, that stuff carries diseases, and you need to clear it out of your house. Last but not least, the thing that I wanted to talk about with cat care is medicines and things specifically for your cat. So bathing your cat if you have to, and that. If you do have to bathe your cat, which I do suggest every 3 months, I think it's 3 to 6 months, to actually physically bathe your cat, because cats will wind up giving off a weird smell. Specifically, very short-haired cats will give off more of a musky, sweaty smell, and so you do have to bathe them every once in a while. You don't want to use conditioner, because cats are self-cleaning cats, but it would be a good idea to use specific shampoos for the cat. And they do make specific cat shampoos for their fur, so that it's not bad for the cat to have them lick their fur afterwards. Other things are like flea collars and flea pills. A big issue that I've seen with people is that they realize that their cat has fleas, And so they will go and get a flea collar or flea medication, just simple over-the-counter flea stuff, and realize that that flea stuff is for dogs. Now, the thing is that the flea collars and the flea food that are for dogs have specific chemicals to get rid of fleas, the eggs, the larvae, and that is not harmful to the dog, but is slightly more effective at getting rid of those fleas. That being said, it is not good to have them on cats because some of the chemicals that are in those are too strong for cats to tolerate. And so they will wind up getting stuff like a rashing problem, a skin irritation, things like that. And that you would have to go to a vet and get treatment for that issue. And so if your cat has any fleas, you should probably go look for flea collars in more of cat sections and flea medication. They should have at any pet store that you go to in their medical area for that. And that's the same with, like, say, there's dog aspirin and cat aspirin. And it's because if cat is feeling or having pain, they'll usually tell you that he's having pain. But the cat aspirin or cat medicines like that, some fall into the same issue of why can't you feed your cat dog food, and it's that taurine deficiency issue. The other is that in order for the aspirin to process in dogs, they need a certain catalyst or a certain chemical to have it process into their system. That catalyst doesn't work in a cat's system, and so they have to use something else. So it's pretty much putting something into them that doesn't work. Another thing with cats is sometimes cats do get a lysine deficiency, and so you would have to talk to your vet on that issue if they do, and he would prescribe you to get lysine for your cat, and they make stuff specifically for cats to take lysine. That one I would not suggest go to any like pharmacy store or any grocery store and get lysine directly, because that's lysine for you to intake. You should actually go to like pet stores like PetSmart or Petco, any other pet store that sells lysine specifically for cats. They'll have flavoring on them so that the cat will be more enticed to try it. And that is pretty much it on the show today. If you have any questions or any concerns, or if you just want to tell me that I'm wrong and have a discussion about that, I'm more than happy to talk to you over it. Go ahead and send me an email at my personal email address, timcase17@gmail.com. And also, if you're into the other hobbies that I have on this podcast channel, there's Puff Life, or Tim and Wolf's Puff Life, and we talk and review about cigars and pipes. There's also going to be a political show coming up called, forgot the name of the show. We'll get back to you on that one. And also a wonderful entertainment show of role-playing called Castles and Cauldrons. And that show should be coming up in the next few weeks. So if you're interested in those, be sure to tune in. Again, this is Timothy Case, and you've tuned into Pet Parlor.